Quick question. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven, you absolute stunner? Episode 5, we are now steaming through these bad boys. Engine bay deep clean and service. We've got to get rid of that misfire. But without further ado, settle in and enjoy these credits.
Man, I move gully.
Engine bay cleaning, an easy job, little bit of a time consumer, needs some elbow grease and a few products, but what's it going to do? One, it's going to lift the overall look of the car, and two, it's going to keep your mechanic on side. And it's always nice having him on side because you don't really know if he's changed the oil filter or not. Let's get into it, super simple. Ugh. What's meant to be black is just sort of a horrible grey brown, but loads of plastic. All the electrical terminals are hidden, tucked away in their own little boxes. The battery's in the back, so that's one less thing to worry about. 2004, the Mini Cooper S, so relatively new wave. You've got nothing to worry about using high pressure water under here. If you're a little bit worried, and I get it, it's a massive talking point in detailing, just use low pressure water. You're gonna need a little bit more elbow grease, but the results will be the same. For me, the most important take home is, if it rains in your country, being in the UK it does, there is always going to be water splashing up on the underside. This bonnet has got two massive holes in it for the grills that we haven't yet fit. So again, rain's been going in the top and it hasn't affected performance. So I'm confident we can hit this with high pressure water. If you don't fancy it, I completely understand. As I say, it's just going to take you a little bit longer. Actually, I think I'll get changed. That's better. Now for the real cleaning. We're going to be using Forced, our citrus traffic film remover. This doubles up amazingly as an engine bay degreaser. Now, the only watch out I will mention is the bonnet catch needs to stay greased. So either cover up the area or just be very, very careful when you're spraying. Apply a good mist of this over the entire engine bay, then agitate with a brush. It's not quick, but it is very, very simple. Some beautiful new top mounts. Just had a rethink. Because this engine bay is so grubby, I'm going to let that dwell for a couple of minutes, jet wash it off, then start again. This is not essential, but something I quite like doing. I'm going to drop a little bit of shampoo into a bucket and then agitate it with a pressure washer. Reason for this, it gives you some bubbles so you know where you've been. There's no way the shampoo is going to do any more cleaning power than the Forced, but the added lubrication is nice. As for tools, I've got a wheel barrel brush, I've got these Detail Factory hog hair brushes, and I've also got a tyre scrubber. I'm not sure I'm going to need that, but it's nice to have it just in case. Finally, I'm going to use a wheel barrel brush just to get down to these hard to reach areas. Also, on the driver's side of the engine block, we've got an oil leak. So I want to strip that grease off, pinpoint where that oil leak's coming from and get it fixed. Like brand new. The worst bit is over. Because we've got loads of hard, smooth black plastic, I'm going to treat it with a rinse aid. This is going to make the drying process easier and it's going to lock in that colour just a little bit longer. Now, I'm not expecting you all to have a big boy blower. You can towel dry, that just sped up the process. We are right up against it because the service we're 20 minutes late for. So we're going to take the steamer, we're going to take a bottle of Force, we can do the underside when the car's on the ramp, but I'll see you at the garage. So, we're down at AJ Deadman's garage in Bishop Stortford. James, who you've seen before, helps us out with the brake disc, is going to give the Mini a service. James, what are you going to do and how are you going to do it?
Right, we've got a lovely array of parts here on the table. We're going to first start by putting some engine flush through the engine and try and get rid of all the nasty little deposits that have been building up over some considerable time now. The car is about 3,000 miles overdue for a service. So we're going to put that through it, give that a good 15-20 minutes just to soak in, just to loosen everything up, and then we're going to drop the oil, put in a new oil filter, air filter, some fresh oil, give it a good once over. Let's put in some new spark plugs, a new coil pack, because I believe that there was an issue with
it's got a little misfire.
Which we can take care of with some new spark plugs, some new leads, a new coil pack, and just take care of all the little gremlins that have been going on inside this engine for the last few miles.
One caveat, I'll just clean the bay.
Yep.
You go easy, all right?
I'll do my best to keep
I'm
it as
joking.
clean as possible, and if I make a mess, I'll clean up after myself.
Don't worry, I'll do it again. Thank you very much. We was going to steam clean the underside of the engine bay to find the oil leak. It turns out we don't need to. It's coming from the crankshaft oil seal. Is that today's work or is that another day's work?
That's definitely another day's work. Good luck with that.
I don't swear on this channel, but I'm going to make an exception. This fucking car is getting on my tits.
Chill.
That was 2. Tenner in the swear pot, that one. Unfortunately, front bumper fitment isn't perfect, but it's going to go to the paint box in a couple of weeks' time. Then it will be sensational. Let's see how fast it is. Question for you, what do we think to the sound of the Mini? I quite like it on the overrun, the crackle and pops, but it's a little bit droney in gear. Do we know anyone? Can we change the centre section maybe change the tips, change the note a little bit, make it a bit more raspy? I think it might be a bit more fitting for the hatchback. This one sounds a little bit, I don't know. Basically a drift car now. So it seems like Project Scraper is misfire free. We've been right the way through the rev range and it is running sweet. Engine bay is deep cleaned. I've not dressed it purely because we've got that little oil leak from the crankshaft oil seal. So we'll get that fixed and then we'll get the engine bay dressed. Next episode, we're going to be fitting a leather interior. We paid 130 quid for a full leather interior, door cards and all. So I'm going to give that a deep clean and then we're going to put it in. We've treated the car to some new calipers, new discs, new pads. We'll get them put on as well. As always, I love you dearly. And don't worry, the shorts ain't going anywhere.